This August, September, Operation September Freedom will be launched by Dreamflights. Dreamflights is a private aviation company based out of Carson City, Nevada. They operate Stearman open cockpit biplanes. Dreamflights has been flying World War II veterans throughout the U.S. for the last 10 years, totaling over 10,000 flights. This year, this is the first time the 1st Special Service Force will be included in the 1,400 flights that are already booked for this year from August to September. The plan was originally to have the boys gather at Niagara Falls, New York on August 5th for a gathering of all the 6 of the veterans together, 4 Americans, 2 Canadians. Dreamflights cannot fly into the U.S. as they're not insured to go across into Canada or anywhere out of the U.S. So we were going to bring 2 Canadians down to join 4 Americans in Niagara Falls on the 5th of August. Due to COVID-19 and the border problems, the border's still closed for the most part, and it would have been very difficult to get our boys down there on that specific date. So as of now, the Canadians will be readdressed later September, maybe when the borders open. The Americans are in the process of being gathered at some point to be decided by Dreamflights. So it could be sometime August, September, where we'll see our boys flying in these open cockpit planes. It'll be something rather grand to see these 90-plus-year-old men getting into these planes and see how it turns out. It's only 10-minute flights, but it's enough to give everybody a real thrill of excitement to see these boys. And the one thing about the guys that are taking part in this, our veterans, our 1st Special Service Force veterans, they're really excited about the flights, but really excited about being together. And that's the whole thing about the camaraderie, is having the boys together. And this is one of those events that hopefully it'll work out in their favor. I mentioned that the pilots are all retired airline and ex-fighter pilots. They volunteer their services to do this every year. When it does happen, there'll be more to come and we'll address it then. Until then, thank you to Daryl, Mary Lou, and all of the Dreamflight staff. There'll be Black Devils on those fuselages of those planes. And that's also a first for their planes to put a logo on them, and the Black Devils will be on them this time.
How are you? How are you doing, okay?
Yeah, fine.
I wonder how many is left in Americans?
Oh, well, 28.
28? Is that what you heard?
Yeah, John Hart told me.
Oh.
28 Americans and 19 Canadians.
We have one of these on every airplane.
Whoa!
These always are with us. Because here's the deal. You guys were a small little unit who kicked ass and took names. We're kind of a small little scrappy unit. You know, we just do our thing and we work all over the country, and so it kind of, you guys are inspiration to us.
No, you guys don't know, but I've never landed in an airplane. The
Seriously?
first time in an airplane, I had to jump out.
Seriously.
Yeah, serious.
I gotta say, that's a first. I wonder why they disbanded you guys.
Too many casualties and deaths. That's what they told us.
Yeah.
And like I said, we did lose a lot of men.
Yeah, we do.
We lost almost 100 on the very first job. The 3rd Regiment was the supply regiment at that time.
Okay.
But those guys, we went up the back side of the mountain. That's what surprised the Germans. They never expected us to come that way. I say, there's a lot of guys that was in the service. A lot of guys didn't make it back. It bothers me a little.
Clear?
Oh my golly. I can't believe how slow we were going.
A moment 100 years in the making.
It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
On a warm September morning, World War II veteran Eugene "Gene" Gutierrez donned his uniform and for a moment was transported back to his days in the armed services. The 100-year-old McAllen resident was given a once-in-a-lifetime experience by the nonprofit group Dreamflights. The group travels all over the country to offer free flights to veterans. On this day, it was Eugene's turn. This flight was a culmination of a month of celebrations in honor of Eugene's 100th birthday. It began on September 7th when the Hidalgo County Commissioner's Court honored him with a resolution.
When you reach 100 years, you can claim the title of having 100 years of wisdom.
And it ended with a trip through the skies of the Rio Grande Valley. With help from the crew, Eugene boarded the 1943 Boeing PT-17 Stearman on the tarmac of the Mid-Valley Airport in Weslaco. With the thumbs up, Eugene and his co-pilot were ready to take flight. The flight may have only lasted 30 minutes, but for Eugene, it was timeless. After disembarking, Eugene shared his experience with the crowd.
How do you feel?
I feel great. A lot of lift going up, coming down in one piece.
Eugene signed an emblem near the plane's tail of the 1st Special Service Force, otherwise known as the Devil's Brigade, of which he was a member. He then added his signature to the plane's tail, inscribing, "Beautiful people of the USA," with his name and the date. Eugene ended his dream flight surrounded by his family, his fellow veterans, and community leaders who came out to show their support.
What defines a community is what we do for one another, how we treat one another. And he came back to be an educator. Not only is it important for you yourself to create value for yourself, but if you use that value and teach others of what you've learned, that is pretty special.
Would like to say thank you very much, and hope that you continue to honor not only the veterans, but every individual on the face of this USA. Thank you.
It is a day that will live in his heart forever.